Well, again, welcome everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Akil Evans Pickford. I'm Chair of Communications of the Media Area NAACP, and I'm honored to introduce this year's Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Spirit Hall of Fame honorees. This year's honorees have been selected because of their leadership, integrity, honesty, determination, courage, and selfless deeds and efforts to improve our communities, all of which embodies the very spirit of Dr. King and his legacy. The Media Fellowship House and the Media Area NAACP has elected to honor Philadelphia pediatric surgeon, community leader, and healthcare advocate, Dr. Alice Stanford, and local historian, activist, educator, and author, Dr. Samuel Lemon, as both individuals are doing important work that reflect Dr. King's spirit and the mission of the Media Fellowship House and the Media Area NAACP. I'm honored today to recognize our first Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Spirit Hall of Fame honoree, Dr. Alice Stanford. Dr. Alice Stanford, she is an American pediatric surgeon and the founder of Real Concierge Medicine and the Black Doctors COVID-19 Consortium. She was born in the Germantown section of Philadelphia, PA, to a single mother. Following high school, she enrolled at Penn State for her undergrad and medical degrees. Upon graduating from the Pennsylvania State University College of Medicine, she finished her residency at SUNY Downstate Medical Center and the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center. She subsequently became the first African-American female pediatric surgeon to be trained entirely in the United States. She also established the Stanford Pediatric Surgery, LLC. It Takes Philly Incorporated, a program to expose children to professions that exist within and outside of their communities, and Real Concierge Medicine. During the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, Dr. Stanford recognized racism in medicine amongst the distribution of vaccines, which led her to leave her role as a pediatric surgeon to work full-time to address health disparities in Black communities, leading to the establishment of the infamous Black Doctors COVID-19 Consortium, which combined a group of around 200 healthcare professionals and the vaccination of nearly 4,000 people from marginalized areas. Recognized as a national model by Dr. Rachel Levine, the U.S. Assistant Secretary of Health, the Black Doctors Consortium has been at the forefront of serving Philadelphia and surrounding counties during this global pandemic. In October 2021, Dr. Stanford opened the Alice Stanford Center for Health Equity to offer primary care and behavioral health services to adults and children in North Philadelphia. Unfortunately, Dr. Alice Stanford could not join us today due to another engagement with her beautiful children, but she does extend her warmest apologies for not being able to attend, but is thankful for this honor. I want to say we thank you, Dr. Alice Stanford, for fighting for our communities and forging ahead in bridging the gap in health disparities in healthcare and ensuring that every adult and child in marginal areas in our communities are vaccinated, boosted, and has quality healthcare. We applaud you for your continuous efforts. And next, and I almost forgot, we will be delivering, I don't know if you can see this, or maybe you can't. Hold on, let me change my background because I want to definitely share this award here. I think you can kind of see it. We are providing a plaque similar to what's up there on the screen of Dr. Ala, along with a monetary award to her charity of choice, which more than likely will probably go to the Center for Health Equity. So I want to congratulate her. And moving right along, our next honoree, and I'm equally as honored to recognize and introduce Dr. Samuel Lemon. Dr. Lemon is a lifelong resident of media and a member of one of its oldest families. His ancestors arrived in media in the mid-1860s after escaping from enslavement. Members of the Providence family, members of the Providence Friends monthly meeting gave them refuge, and his family has resided on Olive Street continuously since 1872. His great-grandfather, William H. Ridley Esquire, an 1887 graduate of Media High School, was the first African-American attorney admitted to the Delaware County Bar in 1891. What amazing thing. Dr. Lemon holds a Master of Science from Westchester University and a doctorate in education, culture, and society from the University of Pennsylvania. Dr. Lemon currently serves as the director of the Master of Science in Business and Organizational Leadership program at Neumann University. He's written 2 books that each explore the African-American experience, including Go Stand Upon the Rock. A fact-based novel covers the lives of his maternal ancestors who were enslaved on Virginia plantations but escaped during the Civil War and fled to Media, Pennsylvania. Also, The Case That Shook the Country, The Unquiet Deaths of Vida Robert and Alexander McClay Williams, captures the true account of Alexander McClay Williams, a 16-year-old Black boy who was convicted of murder at the Glen Mills School for Boys. Williams was wrongfully convicted and executed, becoming the youngest Pennsylvania resident to be executed. Dr. Lemon is also working with the Williams family, Professor Keith Reeves of Swarthmore College, and Robert C. Keller Esquire to advocate for the posthumous exoneration of Alexander McClay Williams. We are blessed to have Dr. Lemon join us today, and he'll share a few remarks with us. Dr. Lemon, welcome.
Thank you so very much, Akila. I deeply appreciate that that wonderful introduction, and I will try to live up to your words. But many thanks to the Media Fellowship House and the Media Area at NAACP for this, just a terrific recognition, and congratulations to my fellow awardee, Dr. Alice Stanford, for her remarkable work. I'd like to second what Bianca and Blake and James Mason said earlier, and it reminds me of the words of William Faulkner, American novelist, that the past is never dead. It's not even past. The present is, in fact, just the past. I was recently down at my doctor's appointment at the Crozier Chester Medical Center, right across the street from Crozier Theological Seminary, where you know that Dr. Martin Luther King received his master's in divinity when he attended there from 1948 to 1951. His mentor, J. Pius Barber, pastor of the Calvary Baptist Church in Chester, also graduated from Crozier Seminary and was the first African-American graduate there. And I noticed the Pearl Hall Library, which is a lovely old building with green serpentine stone, kind of in great disrepair, much like our democracy, as others have spoken to earlier. And libraries really preserve knowledge and history, both of which are under attack in America. As you know, the critical race theory is kind of a rallying call for those who want to prevent the truthful telling of American history. And as James Mason said earlier, we've got a lot of work to do. I would remind folks to please, if you haven't done recently, read Dr. Martin Luther King's letter from Birmingham jail, 1963. It was printed by the Society of Friends. And in it, he says, more and more, I feel that the people of ill will have used time much more effectively than have the people of goodwill. We will have to repent in this generation, not merely for the hateful words and actions of the bad people, but for the appalling silence of many good people. As the late Archbishop Desmond Tutu said, if you are neutral in situations of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. There is no neutrality in this matter. So I think, like many others, we recognize that it's not enough not to be a racist. We must be anti-racist. As Dr. King said, good people too often stand silent when they should speak out, starting within our own families and communities. It's important to remember that freedom isn't free. Many people bled and died for the rights that we have, particularly the right to vote. And so we can't stand silent hoping for a miracle, as Bianca said earlier, believing that someone else will rescue us or convert the bad people into good people. That will not happen. There has never been a time in our country or in the world when peace reigns supreme. We must be active activists for justice. We must do God's work, in a sense, to achieve peace and justice, because justice deferred is justice denied. And those who have suffered injustice need justice now, not just when they get to heaven. If you read in the news media every week, some person who was wrongly convicted is released and exonerated after serving decades in prison for crimes they did not commit. But many, like Ahmaud Arbery, Trayvon Martin, and Alexander McClay Williams, won't be released because their lives were taken. Justice can't be an afterthought, a response. It must be proactive in preventing injustice. So I think that it's important that to recognize how dire the situation is, as James Mason said earlier. There are people not only promising, but are determined to ignite another civil war in this country to enshrine white supremacy. So it's time for good people to stand up to the challenge. So again, I want to thank you all for this wonderful recognition of my work, which continues until we achieve justice for 16-year-old Alexander McClay Williams, the youngest person in Pennsylvania history who was wrongly executed in 1931 in the Media Courthouse for a crime he did not commit. I spent half of my life, some 35 years, working on his case. He and his family need justice now. They waited long enough. It's something that we can achieve together, and let's make that happen this year in 2022. Thanks again.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lemon. And I just want to really quickly just show everyone what we are. I don't know if you can, upside down. There you go. So that's what we'll be providing to Dr. Lemon for all of his work, and as well as a monetary gift for the charity of his choice. And I wanted to show Dr. Olives as well, hers as well. So thank you. Thank you for everything you've done, Dr. Lemon.
Thank you so much.
So I am going to introduce our keynote speaker, Joanna McClinton, representative of the 191st Legislative District and the first African-American and woman to be elected as House Democratic Caucus Chair for the 2019-2020 legislative session. She is also the first woman to serve as a floor leader in the history of the